the ANC Deputy Secretary General Jessie, Duarte, the NEC member Nomvula Mokonyane. They're in Mpumalanga trying to resolve a dispute related to branch general meetings there. Our senior political reporter Ziyanda Ngcobo is with us. Ziyanda, good afternoon once again. It seems tensions are rising there at the moment.
Absolutely, Stephen, and just a short while ago, this particular leader just said now that they agree with the NEC that all branch general meetings must be suspended. As I told you a short while ago, Stephen, that last week violence broke out during at least 2 of those branch general meetings where chairs were thrown, and so the NEC members in the form of Nomvula Mokonyane and Jessie Duarte are currently locked in that meeting. And let's see if we can call them in. All branch general meetings must be suspended.
All branch general consent meetings must be suspended for 7 days until the NEC visits all the sub-regions. Sub-region number 1 is Mpumalanga.
What happened? Why do you want these branch general meetings to be suspended?
Guidelines are not followed by the board of secretaries together with the provincial leadership.
Which guidelines exactly?
The guidelines which the NEC was sitting last week explaining about how to run PGMs. We got the communique on Thursday that branches will start visiting on Saturday. E.g., like pre-PGM, training of scammers, then after you log in the cloud system, then they accept that the branch must sit. All these guidelines were not followed by the board of secretaries. Instead, they choose their own secretaries, which is in their favorites. Then they give them the mandate to go ahead. And all this is being done by the province. We are tired of this province, to be led by this province, because they are having the leadership of the province. They are having interest on the upcoming conference. So we are saying the NEC must disband the province so that the neutral body can run the PEC, the province, so that everything will run smoothly.
So last week, and these videos that are going around with the violence, what were you fighting about?
The videos which were running around Nkomazi or around the media, the social medias, are the bogus secretaries and the membership which were trying to do the wrong thing, sitting in cameras, making blah, 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 blah. That's what
so in other words, you're saying they were trying to set up bogus meetings and bogus lists.
Yes. The leadership in province, the acting provincial secretary, that's the one.
Who
Yeah, someone that tells them to do the wrong things.
How is she telling them to do the wrong things?
She's just giving them the letters. At night, 8 o'clock, for instance, 7 o'clock, the branch is sitting without any pre-PGM. Before I can go to the PGM, we must have a pre-PGM. So all these processes were not done. So we're happy that the NEC is saying it will go around us, around all the sub-region, and start afresh talking to the membership. As we're here with the chairpersons and secretary of the legitimate branches, those are we are mandated by the Constitution as we're here.
So who are these bogus people and where do they come from?
The acting secretary provincial can attest and the acting citizen can attest on that. Yes.
Well, Stephen, there you have it. That's one of the ANC members that's come here from the Nkomazi sub-region. You'd have heard the name of Lindiwe Nchalinchali, who's the acting provincial secretary. She has previously been mentioned as a strong ally of the current Secretary General, Ace Magashule. And this particular lady says that they have had issues with these branch general meetings because they're saying the bogus secretaries have been continuing with illegitimate legitimate branch general meetings without them, who they say they are the legitimate chairpersons and secretaries of this Mpumalanga province. You would have also heard us saying that they want the Mpumalanga Provincial Executive Committee to be dissolved completely and for this process to be started again, because there's been a lot of malfeasance really taking place within the branch and membership processes. And while we haven't had that briefing yet from Mokonyane and DSG Jessie Duarte, it seems as though one of the suggestions is to suspend all branch general meetings for the next 7 days to allow then for the national leadership to intervene and visit all the regions to try and ascertain who are the legitimate members and chairpersons and secretaries of the various branches. Stephen.
Ziyanda, I mean, this is vitally important. It could affect perhaps the national political picture in some ways. Mpumalanga, as you have alluded to already, played an important role at Nasrec. But it also goes to sometimes the problems the ANC is seeing in actually holding conferences at the moment. It can be very difficult when political tensions are high and during a time of COVID-19.
Exactly, Stephen. I was about to say, not only are tensions high, but of course, we do have those COVID-19 regulations that still remain in place. This conference, this provincial elective conference of Mpumalanga is set to take place between the 14th and the 16th of May. And that is just over a month away, really. And so if Mpumalanga is still struggling then with the issue of so-called bogus branches, bogus membership and lists that haven't been consolidated, accusations that the acting provincial secretary Lindiwe Njali is the one who's actually pushing for the existence of these bogus secretaries, as we've heard being alleged by those who've come outside the Ehlanzeni district municipality here today, then it was quite telling then of the state of what is happening in provinces. You would have known that BGMs haven't been held in a very long time, and so a lot of reliance is going to be placed on the secretaries to consolidate then the lists and the leadership that exists, especially the chairpersons and the secretaries, Stephen. And so if they're having issues just with secretaries of branch general meetings, then once the conference gets held place, there's going to be questions around the legitimacy of this particular conference. And of course, then if you have issues around branches, then it puts into question where Mpumalanga is placed then in the national picture. At some stage, it had the second biggest number of branches and branch membership in the ANC across the country, which is why then it was able to tip the scales with that unity candidate, if you recall, Stephen, when President Cyril Ramaphosa was elected at the 54th National Congress. So this is not something that is small, Stephen, I must say, in terms of when it's not just isolated to the Nkomazi region or just in Mpumalanga, but it paints a bleak picture really about the state of branches across the country of the ANC. And also it comes on a day, Stephen, when Secretary General Ace Makashule has requested provincial secretaries to provide them with a list of those who will be affected by the step-aside guidelines. You would have heard this lady saying that, the province is not following the guidelines that were given by the NEC in terms of how to conduct branch general meetings. So then it begs the question about how the step-aside guidelines and those who have been implicated in corruption, who is going to form part of those lists across the country in terms of the provinces. And if they are complaining about the acting provincial secretary, we may also find out a situation where there will be questions around the legitimacy and the people whose names are placed on the list of those who will be affected by that step-aside guideline.
Ziyanda and Ngcobo, thanks very much indeed. Our senior political reporter live for you in that area of Mpumalanga.